Good morning, Dragons. Thanks for joining us on this wonderful morning. Today is Tuesday, April 25th, and it's a day 6. Today's broadcast is being brought to you by me, Ben Andy, and my fabulous co-host, Ariana Hale. Let's get things started with our pledge being led by a few students from Mrs. Wilson and Mr. Lewandowski's class. Please rise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please stand by.
Today's weather won't start out too nice, but it should improve throughout the day. It will start out cloudy with periods of light rain in the morning. There will be a 70% chance of showers, and in the highest expected to reach 65 degrees. Be sure to tune in tomorrow because it's looking like the weather will be even nicer then.
Hey Dragons, we know there are so many amazing things going on in our building, but if you don't pay attention, you'll be totally lost. So stop, look, and listen as we bring you all the most important information you need to know here at the intermediate school. Here we go.
Do you want to help raise money for the Make Lemonade Foundation for CP and wear your hat to school? For a $1 donation, you will receive a special donation sticker and you'll be able to wear your hat to school on Friday. We are so excited to see how much money we are able to raise. It's only a few days away. Hey Patienters, it's time to celebrate. Today is our pizza party. It will be held in the cafeteria from 3 to 4. See you there.
Mr. Brown wants to remind all of you SLED Club members that your next meeting will be tomorrow after school. Please make sure you have a ride home at 4. Can't wait to see you there. And hey, while Mr. Brown is at it, he would also like to recognize this year's winner of the Lincoln Challenge. Congratulations, Arthur Breton and Aaron Robinson. Way to make Mr. Brown and America proud. Hey Ariana, remember how April is Autism Awareness Month? To show our support, please wear blue or your Autism Awareness t-shirts this Thursday as we end Autism Awareness Month.
Well Ben, speaking of Autism Awareness Month, did you see all of the puzzle pieces outside of Mrs. Stringer's office? I already found mine. Hopefully you can find all of yours too.
One boy in 6th grade who has an extra reason to smile today, and that's because it's his birthday. When you see Raymond Meschlevitz today, be sure to wish him an extra special birthday. Raymond, from all of us here at the News, we hope you have the absolutely best day of the year. Yeah!
Okay friends, it's Tuesday, which means we have a brand new question of the week. With the start of the Major League Baseball season, we want to know which New York team do you like more, the New York Mets or the New York Yankees? Be sure to get those votes in so we can find out the results Friday.
Hey Dragons, you know how we just talked about Autism Awareness Month? Well, for today's special segment, we want to provide you with answers to some of the questions you have submitted in the question box outside the office. A few of the questions that were asked include, what is autism? Can you catch autism? And why do some students with autism flap their arms? Check out this video to see if you can find the answers to these questions and many more.
There's nothing like the first day of school. New clothes, new classes, new friends. This year, a kid named Nick came to our school. At first, he seemed a little different. Sometimes during class, Nick makes noises and gets out of his seat. There's a lady that sits in our classroom and follows Nick around, and even takes him out of class when he's distracting us. We didn't understand why Nick got to take breaks or why he got to spend all this time with one teacher. My friends and I thought, what's up with Nick? It turns out, Nick has autism. Nick has had autism since he was little. Autism happens inside the brain. This doesn't mean Nick is sick with something like the flu. You can't catch autism. It just means that he understands some things differently than most of us. Once we learned a little more about Nick and autism, we understood why he gets extra attention. He just needs a little more help than the rest of us sometimes. The lady following him around is his aide. She's there to help him in the classroom. Sometimes small things bother Nick because his senses, hearing, sight, smell, touch, and taste, all work differently than ours. Like when we work on projects, we try to keep our voices down because Nick has trouble focusing if it gets too loud. As we got to know him, we learned what we can do to make it better for Nick so he can stay in class with us. Other kids with autism in your school might have similar challenges. The best way to help them is by getting to know them. Autism affects each person differently. No two kids with autism are the same. Some kids will talk with you, but not look at you. Others won't talk much, but will try to use other ways to tell you what they want to say. Some kids with autism may flap their arms or even rock back and forth. It may seem strange at first, but it's just something that makes them comfortable. Nick really likes building and talking about model airplanes. He even brought one in to show us how the propeller works. It was pretty cool. Sometimes, though, Nick doesn't stop talking about model airplanes. We listen because it's polite, but learn that it's okay to suggest new activities too. Some of us from class joined the art club together, and we invited Nick. He mostly draws pictures of planes, but we still have fun doing the projects together. Remember that you can always include your friend with autism in activities, even if he or she does it in a different way. Don't be afraid to ask your teacher or an adult for ideas that can work for everyone. Now that we know more about autism, it's no big deal. Nick is just a kid and a part of our class like everyone else. So just remember that all of us are different in our own ways. Accepting the differences of kids with autism is the first step to becoming friends and having fun together.
Well, I think we can agree that was definitely a good way to answer some of those questions. Don't forget, it's not too late to submit your questions about autism in the box outside the main office.
Hey, Ariana, it's time for the joke of the day.
Woohoo! Today's joke is being brought to us by Matthew Cummins from Mrs. Gass's class. Thanks so much, Matthew.
What did the smaller tree say to the bigger tree?
I don't know, what did the smaller tree say to the bigger tree?
You're 3 times bigger than me.
Well, Dragons, before we wrap things up here in our studio, we want to thank the man behind the camera who keeps us on track, our amazing producer, Mr. Luke Bardman.
Hey Dragons, be the best person you can be today. There is a leader in each and every one of you. Have a
Great day! See you tomorrow!
Spin.